Jimmy Thang from Maximum PC here at GDC 2016. I'm here speaking with Mike from Cloudhead Games. And Mike, can you tell us a little bit about Call of the Starseed?
Sure. Call of the Starseed is the first episode in the gallery game. It's a virtual reality experience where you're exploring and solving problems, solving puzzles, while searching for your sister. It's inspired by 1980s darker action adventure movies like The Goonies and The Labyrinth.
Right, and I just finished playing about 15, 20 minutes of it or so. And I think I said to you guys in the thing, I don't want to give away too much, but
Please.
I did get a very like the fantasy, sci-fi, 80s, 90s movie kind of vibe. And I remember saying to you, like, you guys should show this to Steven Spielberg because I think he would get a kick out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed,
Very nice.
yeah, and it's also, I get a very modern Myst vibe from it for VR. And was that something you guys are going for?
Oh, absolutely. Myst was definitely an inspiration for us. We've all played it and loved it growing up. We all felt that the immersion level of Myst back in the day was what made it special, and we feel that virtual reality needs that. We need an experience where you can just get lost. You can get lost in a new place that has a very distinct feeling, where you can just feel like you're on an adventure.
And so the premise of the game is that your sister has gone missing.
Correct, yeah.
And then somehow you're trying to find her, and then you sort of enter this fantastical world, right?
Yep,
Can you elaborate on that, or are you trying
Sure. So your sister is essentially on her own quest, and she's leaving you tips and clues along the way so you can get to where she is. You start in the normal world on this beach on Vancouver Island, and eventually you dive deep into the unknown, deep into the earth, to discover where she went.
Gotcha. And you guys are, and this is a series, right? It's an episodic
Correct.
series.
Yeah, this is the first episode of 4.
Okay. And then can you, like, how long is an episode roughly?
It totally depends on the player. Some people like to just meander and explore with our playground toys. It's between 2 hours to 3.5 hours.
One thing that I really noticed about this game is that unlike a bunch of other VR demos that I've tried, this one actually feels like an in-depth game that has a narrative. And like, how did you guys sort of come up with that concept for a VR game?
We essentially wanted to have a playable movie. We wanted to take a movie like The Goonies or Labyrinth and allow the player to really feel like they're part of that adventure, not just watching it from afar. We wanted the player to be able to enter into a space, enter into their own room in an apartment in the middle of a city, and feel like they're going on a journey, on an adventure all on their own.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we just felt like the story was an integral part to that. To drive all the puzzles together.
So it is very much a modern adventure game, right? Can you talk about the gameplay mechanics a little bit? I noticed that there was some puzzle solving in there. There's like,
Yep, so we have a mixture of cerebral puzzles, which is like solving electrical puzzles and solving, like, putting fuse into objects to make objects work. But we also have physical puzzles that demand that you use your body in interesting ways to solve, to accomplish certain goals. You have to use your body to catch things, to grab things, to pull things, to push things. We want your brain and your body to both be involved in this game.
Yeah, and unlike most VR games, you guys are actually have the player traversing a large world. Can you talk about how you move the player about?
Sure, we use a locomotion system called Blink, where you are moving the volume through a virtual space by means of moving that volume with your head. You essentially aim the volume into a different location and you set it. We have a really great tutorial that sets it up for the player. It's pretty intuitive. You'll get it really quickly.
One thing that I like about your game is that I feel like right now most developers are playing it safe, going with like mini games or simple concepts. Not only are you guys doing this full-blown narrative that's inspired by like a movie genre, but you're going. I don't want to give too much away, but you guys are incorporating some very epic and crazy and kooky story elements. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We really want the player to feel like they're getting a greater experience than just a 10-minute thing that you can just jump in and out of. We want the player to feel like they're invested in the experience in a deeper way than what a 10 or 15-minute experience can provide.
I think to me, like, it's I would say that, like, off the top of my head, I feel like this game is kind of, from what I've played, it feels a little ahead of its time because I feel like it's something that should come out in the second or third year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have been working on this for about 3 years now. We started out on the DK1, and just seeing how those mechanics evolved, we realized that we wanted to create a game that could really showcase the immersion quality of VR and to really allow the player to feel like they're on their own journey, their own experience, their own adventure, essentially.
Yeah, as I mentioned when I was playing the game, I feel like this is a game that VR really needs to show like what's possible in terms of storytelling. Because most VR games are not like this. And my final question is price and release date.
Price, we're not exactly sure on. We're going to go based on what essentially what the market dictates. Release date, it's going to be a launch title for the Vive, leading to be a launch title for the Oculus Touch controllers, and from then on we'll see what else we can do.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to the game.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you playing it.